Hello and welcome in, nerds. It's me, Makazi, coming at you with a pickups video. That's right, it's about June 1st, which basically means it is time for our May 2025 pickups video. And today, I gotta say, looking over here, got a pretty big stack of stuff to go through. I got some Wii games, I got a GameCube game, some Switch games, a DVD, a CD, and some manga to go through. And I gotta say, I was not expecting this month to be as big as it was. But I did hit a couple sales, and Eric and I decided to go out and do some antiquing over at some antique malls in our local area. And they just happen to have a couple really, really good things to get, and for very cheap, because of course we didn't buy like antique furniture. We went and bought antiques like CDs, which kind of makes me feel older than I should feel. But without further ado, here's what I got in May 2025. All right, so here are my pickups for May 2025, and we're going to start off with some manga. I didn't really pick up too much manga, but we did go to a comic store, and I found out that I am very much behind on Yakuza Reincarnation. Right here, I got volumes 9 through 12. If you've never heard of this manga before, it's basically the story of a Yakuza kind of like elder who has been reincarnated into a new fantasy world where he ends up being a princess of that world who is kind of on the run and is kind of using their Yakuza knowledge to get through the world and kind of turn this once beloved kind of, I guess, soft-spoken princess into a Yakuza leader, which I think is a pretty cool premise. I will say the artwork in this one's pretty good. The story's pretty decent. I do think I have to reread volumes 1 through 8 because it has been a while. I thought I was up to date on this one, but I happened to be in a comic book store that had a really good manga selection and found out that I am indeed 4 volumes behind, which I was kind of annoyed about, but I'm glad that they had them. And now that I have them, I have to start reading them. I will say I haven't started reading this because I was reading Delicious in Dungeon. And after finishing that, I just wanted a small break from reading. But I think this is going to be the next one I'm going to dive into very, very soon. Next up, I wanted to showcase a DVD set that I found at an antique market or antique mall. Outlaw Star. That's right. $8, baby. This was a great find. Me and Erica keep going back and forth and showing each other new anime that we never watched growing up. I've seen Outlaw Star before, and I do love this anime. So to be able to find a full DVD set like this was kind of clutch. I mean, it's got a little bit of I wouldn't call it a manual, but a little booklet here. And then it's got all the DVDs, both discs. Very clean. I remember looking at them before. Very clean. This was a really good pickup, especially for only $8. Like, that was a no-brainer. And I can't wait to show Erica this one. If you haven't seen Outlaw Star, I highly recommend it. It very much came out and was overshadowed heavily by other space kind of cowboyish anime like Cowboy Bebop and Trigun. But I would definitely recommend watching this if you like shows like that. Next up, I will say I got this also at the Antique Mall, is a CD. I got a Godsmack's 4 album. I actually have listened to this album in the past, but I never owned it. And so I'm not the biggest Godsmack fan. I have seen them live before, and I do enjoy their music, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan. But yeah, everything's in here. It's complete and pretty clean. Almost like feels like it's never been played clean. But we're definitely going to be putting this into our so shiny. We're going to definitely be putting this into our CD player and kicking this on repeat very soon. When I looked at the different songs on this album, I have heard of probably about 3. Yeah, I think I've heard about 3 of these tracks before, so I'm excited to hear the rest of this album. And who knows, maybe I'll even give it a Real Talk review. But I think I do want to start doing some Real Talk reviews on albums, but if I do them on music albums, I feel like they're not going to be very long. So either they're going to be very short Real Talk reviews, like 5 minutes, or I'm going to edit them down and just make them into Real Talk reviews for TikToks for the music specifically, because there's a lot of albums out there that I think are fantastic, and I would love to give my thoughts on them and try and get more people to listen to them. Next up, we have video games, which we've picked up in the month of May. And I want to start off with this one specifically. It's a GameCube game. It has my name on it because I actually bought this on the Whatnot app, which I'm not sponsored. I do want to do a video on Whatnot because there's a lot I have to say about the app itself, and I see a lot of retro gaming YouTube channels kind of showing them off and telling people to go and buy and get good deals on it, and I don't know if I agree with them 100%. So I kind of want to make a whole video just on the Whatnot app, and so I bought something from Whatnot so I can give you my personal opinion on the entire process. But here you can see it's got a manual, complete with manual. I was able to see that it is very clean. I mostly got this. I'm not a huge shoot 'em ups fan. I mostly got this because, again, I was kind of testing out the Whatnot app, and this was kind of one of the cheaper games I was able to get from it. And but you know, honestly, the gameplay itself does look pretty cool. So this was on my wish list of games to eventually get for the GameCube, and it's one of the cheaper ones. This is, I think, on price charting going for like under $15 normally. So we'll take a look at this game in the future. I actually haven't tested it yet. It just came in the mail recently, so I'll have to give it a test and see how good the game actually is. Next up, I have some Switch games. I added some super rare games. We got Last Hero Nostalgia Deluxe Edition from Super Rare Games. It's still sealed. These ones, literally, you're going to see 3 super rare games in this video. All 3 of them came in together, and I just got them. So I haven't even opened them. I haven't played them, but I remember seeing some gameplay of this one, and I was genuinely interested. At first, I wasn't sure if I wanted to play it. It's an action-adventure game, but it aesthetically looks kind of cool, so I wanted to give it a chance. Anything from Super Rare can be 50-50. I feel like some of their games are a little bit more too niche and too low-key, but this one does look genuinely interested, and so we'll have to go ahead and play that sometime soon. All right, and another super rare game for us that just came in the mail recently was Cyber Shadow. Now, this game is really cool looking. I remember seeing the trailers for this, and it does kind of have that old school Ninja Gaiden kind of feel to it, and so I figured I'd pick it up. It just came in the mail, thankfully, but I will say I accidentally ordered 2 of these, but only one has come in the mail so far, so don't be surprised if in my June pickup video, the other one is lumped in with a different order, so you may end up seeing this one twice, but if that ends up happening, I'll probably end up selling off the other one. It was an honest mistake, and honestly, it's happened with Super Rare a couple of times for me, so just got to be a little bit more careful with, preventing myself from double buying. But I am excited to play this one, and honestly, I might open this one probably sooner rather than later. And actually, it looks like this one comes with some extra stickers and goodies, so we'll have to take a look at that in the future. Next up, we got Nuclear Throne. Now, I'll be honest with you, I kept finding this, like, people talking about this game, and they kind of convinced me to get it. Post-apocalyptic roguelike shooter. Now, I really do enjoy roguelikes and roguelike shooters. I think this has gameplay similar to, close to Enter the Gungeon, and I think, I really like that kind of gameplay style, that twin-stick shooter roguelike, and so I wanted to give this one a try as well. Again, from Super Rare, so I usually don't open these until I play them, so hopefully soon I'll get a chance to try that one out. And then last on the Switch games, I have Dungeon Defenders Awakened. Now, this game, I think, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure I got this because I was already buying the other 2, and they still had stock on this one, and it looked just interesting enough. Plus, it's a co-op action RPG, which anytime you get co-op involved, I immediately think to myself, like, do I think Erica would like playing this? Yes. Okay, I'll give it a shot. Might as well. And so that's why I kind of picked this one up. Last but not least, the other games that I got, and it's a pretty big stack here. I was surprised because initially in the month of May, I really didn't see myself buying a whole ton of stuff. And then there was a sale at a local store. And so I went through the sale and I was like, I am going to just go ahead and see what they have. And I added it all to the cart. I ended up actually taking a few away from the cart because it was getting a little too expensive. But I decided to pick up basically a ton of Wii games. I'm a big Wii collector. And so I decided to try and get some, since it was a 10% off sale. I was trying to see if I could get some of the more, not expensive Wii games, but some of the more higher end ones, especially ones that you don't really see very often, like this one, Ultimate Shooting Collection for the Wii. This is a shoot 'em ups game, obviously complete with manual and disc. Disc is very clean, and this just has, I think it's, I'm trying to remember exactly how many. It is 3. Okay, it has 3 arcade shooters. And overall, I'm not the biggest shoot 'em ups fan, but I saw this one And I do eventually want to get into shooters, or into shoot 'em ups, and so I think this would be a great place to start. And again, pretty cheap for the Nintendo Wii. Next up, we have, this one was one of the more expensive titles, I will say, but I saw it and I was like, might as well go for at least one or two expensive titles, and that is Arc Rise Fantasia. Now, everyone who knows me knows I'm really trying to get into more JRPGs, and I saw this one for sale, again, at 10% off, complete in box. I looked up a little bit of gameplay, and I was like, you know what? This actually looks like a genuinely fun game, and I believe it's a Wii exclusive. So I was like, yeah, I might as well get it since it's on sale. Maybe start this one soon, honestly. Next up was another one that was a little on the, I say expensive side, but honestly, I'm trying to remember. I think this one was, I basically got all these games for slightly under price charting. So if you look them up on price charting, you'll see how much I actually spent on them. But that was Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeon. Now, I've heard of the Chocobo Dungeon series before. Again, complete in box. And I do like the concept of dungeon crawlers, and it's Final Fantasy related. The Chocobos, it looks like you can customize them, which is pretty cute. And so I was like, you know what? Might as well give this one a shot. I believe this one was on the more expensive side. And by more expensive, I basically mean $20 or more. So this, I believe, was the last quote-unquote expensive Wii game that I got from the sale. Next up is another Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy The Crystal Bearers. Again, I just looked it up. It's on my wish list. It is complete in box, as all of these will be. And so I figured, why not add more Final Fantasy to my life, especially to my Wii collection? The next one's a little bit interesting. I ended up looking up gameplay for it, and that kind of sold me on it, and that is Spyborgs. Now, this is a game I don't really, for the record, so far all four of these games I haven't really seen in stores very often, and that's kind of what I look for when I look at sales of games. Again, this one is complete in box. It's from Capcom. I looked at the gameplay a little bit, and it kind of looks like you're just like a two-player co-op beat-em-up game. And again, co-op always sells me because it's a game I can probably play with Erica and have a good time with. And this one actually is, I feel like I saw this on one or two Hidden Gems videos for the Wii, so that also is what sold me on it. Next up, we have Gion Cube. Now, this is an interesting one because this, at face value, kind of looks like it would be more of like a shovelware style game, but I ended up actually looking up the original trailer for this game, and it does look really interesting. It's a cool little, almost party puzzle game. You could play up to 4 players, where each person controls a cube, and you kind of have to, if I remember correctly, you have to collect all the components on your side of the field before they do, and then you can affect each other in like a real 3D space, and it just seemed pretty cool. I'm genuinely want to open this one up and play it with Erica and see how it actually plays. But the trailer looked cool and the gameplay looked interesting. Next up, we have Puzzle Quest Challenge of the Warlords. Now, I'm not a big puzzle person. This is one of those like typical kind of almost Bubble Bobble style games, but it was pretty cheap, and I'm looking into basically trying to look at games that are kind of out of my wheelhouse, especially for the Wii collection, because it's so cheap to get most of these games on Wii. It kind of feels like if you're going to take a chance, might as well take a chance on a game like this. Next up is one that I feel like I've seen on a bunch of people's Hidden Gems videos, and that is Mercury Meltdown Revolution. Now, at face value, this game looks like Flubber, like Silver Flubber, you know what I mean? But I've heard from multiple people that this really is a fun game to play. And so I think I've probably seen 2 or 3 different Wii hidden pickups videos, or I'm sorry, hidden gem videos where people have mentioned this game specifically. So of course I saw it on sale and decided now was the time to give it a shot. Next up is another game I have seen on one Wii hidden gems videos, and that is Elebits. I don't really know too much about this game, but it is up to 4 players, and apparently it's just a really good time, really fun game from Konami, and I just wanted to give it a shot. Again, I was filling up my cart with Wii games that I haven't heard of much, and I saw this one, and I was like, oh wait, I have heard of that one on a Hidden Gems video, so now's the time to pick up as many of the Hidden Gems as I can. And next up is Alien Syndrome. Now, this one I will say is a game that I see very often in stores. Like, I feel like I always see this one on the shelf. Most of the time, the actual case itself is usually pretty beat up and dirty for some reason. But it's also a 4-player game, so of course, you know, something I could probably play with Erica. And I believe, I'm trying to remember which game this one is exactly. I think this is just a FPS game, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to look for the gameplay aspect. Oh, it looks like it's third-person shooter. Earth Command Lieutenant. Yeah, it looks like you're basically, it kind of looks like you're fighting like PvE style against enemies. But it's a Sega game. Sega does some pretty interesting games out there. And again, it's just, this was a very cheap game. I see it all the time in the stores. And since it was a clean copy, decided it might be time to pick it up and add it to my collection. And last but certainly not least is another game that I have seen a couple of times on people's Wii Hidden Gems videos. And that is Dewey's Adventure. Now, the artwork and stuff kind of reminds me a little bit of Kirby meets Dragon Quest. And it is a 4-player game. It looks like you definitely use motion controls to play it. And I think it's just kind of a simple platformer, but people who have played it say that, you know, it's a very good game and a hidden gem on the Wii. Again, complete in box, because that's what we always shoot for here whenever possible. And yeah, that is all of the stuff that I picked up this month. All right, and that's everything I got in the month of May in 2025. I will say for next month's pickup video for June, it's probably going to be focused mostly on the Switch 2, because that's what I will be getting. It's already confirmed. I do have a Switch 2 coming. I have a couple games for it. I don't really think I'll be getting much else because of the price tag on the Switch 2 as well as the games. So I think overall, next month's video will probably be a lot smaller than this one, but if you like these videos, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. We here at Nerd Crew are pumping out a lot of videos, mostly based around video games, but also everything else nerdy, including manga, video games, anime, movies, and hopefully soon music, because I'd love to start doing some music reviews. But unfortunately, I think the Real Talk reviews for music will probably end up being like TikToks, unfortunately, because I can't think of a way to make a 10-minute video out of one album. But who knows? Maybe I will. If you like this video, again, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you want more pickups videos and Real Talk reviews coming soon. Looking forward into the month of June. I will say it'll be mostly revolving around the Switch 2, but I do have a few videos coming out very soon, and or have already come out by the time this video has come out, about the Switch 1. So go ahead and catch those videos. I'll leave them in the description below if they're already out. And if they're not out, go ahead and follow us on Bluesky and Instagram to see when those videos are coming out. I typically use Bluesky as a way of letting people know when videos are coming out, because we do have kind of a regular schedule here. And I will also be trying my hardest to take more pictures of stuff along the way for these pickup videos, and posting those also on Instagram and Bluesky. So go ahead and follow us over there. If you liked what we picked up, go ahead and hit a comment down below and let me know what you liked out of all these things. If you've played any of those games or read any of the manga and stuff, go ahead and let me know what you thought of those. And if you have any more recommendations, I'm all ears. Go ahead and put it down in the comments below. But until next time, I'll see you nerds later.